Hi, welcome back. Here's INTERGEOTV from Frankfurt, from INTERGEO 2025. And right now we are talking about Earth observation, Copernicus, and of course taking climate action. And right now here with me is the German Space Agency at DLR and her representative Godela Roßner. Hello Godela, great to have you here.
Hi Denise, it's great to be here again.
Yeah, I just mentioned it. The German Space Agency plays a crucial role when we talk about Earth observation, when we talk about practical applications and on the ground. And how would you describe this bridge from satellites to climate action?
Yeah, that's a really fascinating, let's say, value chain that we cover as a space agency. So we are not only responsible to build satellites ourselves for the German government, but also to accomplish the Copernicus Programme and monitor its development, making sure that the satellites that are being developed and the whole system is really up to date and is serving the users. But the most crucial part is, in fact, to really bring it to the users and really understand the questions that users have on the ground to help make their tasks more efficient, help them in going about whatever their task is, whether it's environmental monitoring or urban planning or energy systems for the community. So it's really a broad variety of applications where Earth observation can help. And we have a quite long-standing experience now in working very closely together with users from different administrative levels to deliver information to their needs.
So you are here and presenting also a booth of the DLR, or the German Space Agency at DLR, Deutsche Luft- und Raumfahrtagentur. What are you presenting this year? What application do you bring with you for the audience this year?
Yeah, so we have a booth together with ESA, so the European Space Agency, and we show on the one hand new satellite data that is being delivered, for example, from the NMAP mission, a very let's say, highly calibrated mission that delivers quantitative measurements of, for example, chlorophyll in plants or water equivalent in plants or minerals in the ground, in the soils. And on the other hand, really the applications. So we have our touch table with us that is demonstrating different kinds of Earth observation-based applications, and we are also having our, let's say, network bureaus with us. So one is for the communal tasks, so addressing cities and communities to provide them information and how can they make the living in their cities more sustainable. For example, I mean, we are all facing climate change, and it's a huge task for communities how to make sure that life in the cities is still it's still agreeable, it's still healthy to live there and to have pure air, good climate. So what Earth observation can deliver, for example, is to monitor the urban heat. So we have systems that can really measure the heat development and help the urban planning to be more adapt to the climate change, to make sure that there are fresh air corridors within or between the buildings, to make sure that the vegetation is healthy. So, for example, vegetation is facing more and more heat stress. We can detect that very early with Earth observation, and that can deliver important information to make sure that watering is being started early enough to help the plants to make sure that they stay green and healthy and not to go dry and be dead in the next moment. So those are very practical examples where we can help cities and communities to be more sustainable also in delivering information on energy systems and how to run them more efficiently and where to use which energy source. So also Earth observation can have there, for example, how to run photovoltaic systems efficiently when you're facing weather changes, storms coming up or heavy clouds. So those are a lot of varieties of very practical examples. And we showcase them in our booth at CO 49, so in this same hall. And we also have the network bureaus that are really addressing those stakeholders to make sure that we have a good dialogue and really understand what users need.
And you're also hosting a session in the conference as well, and it's also about the problems you just were discussing and using Copernicus data in crisis situations. And from your perspective, how does Copernicus especially strengthen Europe's ability to respond to natural disasters and crisis situations?
Yeah, I think this is one of the really key applications that has been started very early to help in crisis situation, either natural crisis or man-made catastrophes, to deliver very fast Earth observation data to make sure that we have a good understanding on what has happened on the ground, what is the change, what infrastructure is affected, how many people could possibly be affected, and how can we deliver help as fast as possible to the people in need and support the helping agencies and actors to stay safe on the ground, because that's also a very critical phase, of course, early after an event, to make sure that everyone who's there helping really stays safe. So on the one hand, agencies that are working with Earth observation satellite collaborate very closely to make sure that satellite data is delivered as fast as possible to those who are in charge to deliver help. On the other hand, we also have let's say, federal agency for citizen protection and catastrophe protection to deliver information and make sure that we have the risk preparedness to see also on the long run what do we need to prepare for. We know that extreme weather events will be more frequent and more heavy. So what can we do to avoid that we are facing another catastrophe that we saw in 2021 in the Aar River Valley? To make sure where are the risky parts and what can we do to avoid such high flood events. And then on the other hand, to make sure that the information that is needed in times of catastrophes are really up to the point where it's easily understandable, easily integrated in the working environment that the people on the ground really use, that they're used to, so that we don't have the technology gap, let's say, at that point, still need to understand, but it's really ready to use for those who are helping there.
When we look ahead, or in the future, what strategic role will the German Space Agency and their partner in cooperation play, ensuring that Earth observation data truly supports sustainability and resilience in the coming decade?
So what we're facing right now is really, we have had a big step in having a lot more data continuously being delivered by satellites. So we really have a good databases so far, and it's being prolonged by the Copernicus system, which is really crucial to have this consistency in the databases. But now we also have the capabilities of using AI and high performance computing, and bringing all this together, we can evolve digital twins of our environment and go through different scenarios to see what will happen if I change my, let's say, urban building plans a little bit. Will it affect positively the urban climate that I have, or will it be negatively? and other scenarios like what is going to happen if we face another flooding event which is spreading over this certain area, what valleys will be affected, what buildings will be affected. So building more scenarios, prognosis to be better prepared. And I think the ability to really have this data integration and to integrate it also in the, let's say, user perspective, make it more easy using large language models to also have maybe language-based steering of the processes will make it even more easy to use and be applied in the different application scenarios, which can be, I mean, we just talked about catastrophe management, natural risk management, but there's a whole lot of different things like urban planning, like insurance, like agriculture and food production, forestry, and so on and so on. So a really big multitude of different applications, and I think we can really, in each and one of them, reach another level of ready-to-use information, decision-making by building more and more digital plans to make it easy to understand for users what is the benefit of, not only of the technology, but the benefit of a potential decision.
Absolutely. We not only have to monitor or see the problems, we also have to protect our Earth. So Godela Roßner here with the very important topic of Earth observation here at INTERGEOTV. Thank you very much, Godela, for joining us.